morning and welcome to today's market color session. It's good to have every one of us here. How has the trading week been for us so far? Beautiful. How was that trade you were in the other day? All right, great. That's good to know. Okay, so let us see what today has in store for us. I think the trade we were talking about was USD CAD, right? Okay. And I said I was expecting it to buy back a little before it continued to sell. All right, so for the sake of those of us who are not here on Tuesday, we're just going to pretty much start a fresh analysis. So I'm just going to quickly take off some of these markings because I know the indicators themselves may look a bit confusing and I don't want to cause more confusion. So for those of us who don't have the indicators installed on our charts, please just take note of the price point we're going to be looking at, and then add your extra confluence to take advantage of this analysis session. So I'm looking at USD CAD on the H4 time frame. Zoom in so we see a better picture. All right, and zoom out. Now you see that it's been selling from somewhere around here. It started to buy, and it broke several relevant structures from this point on. It came back here, sunshine printed, so it's just done a lot. It has done a lot. So right now, what are we now seeing? I'm seeing that the new sunshine has. And for those of us who are familiar with all weather, you know that whenever we see sunshine printed like this, we either expect a retracement before a move is continued or a total reversal. So now that I'm seeing this, let's go to H1 to have a better picture. On H1 now, this sunshine would have made me expect this temporal buy that happened on USD CAD. So I would have marked out this zone and also mark out this level as POIs that price could buy into before we see the sell continued. Sell continued, yes, because we saw that structure was broken around here to the downside. We came back here, broke structure around this point, and this is the support level where it is currently resting on. The previous resistance, turn support, and the support that is still holding. Regardless, the buy we spoke on happened into this zone 1.40095, and we're starting to see reactions to the downside, right? We're starting to see reactions, meaning that it is possible this sell continues so much so we see a new sunshine printed, because remember, sunshine repaints. It just takes a longer period of time before it does on the H4 time frame. And if this sell is going to continue, where is the most likely area where it's going to continue selling into? It will be somewhere here, 1.39496. This is a lot of movement for USD CAD. However, we also want to pay attention to liquidity because price will not just move in one direction. Oftentimes, if we decide to give even deeper retracements to come and take out liquidity, and you see that we have liquidity residing around here, which happens to be this fair value gap, and there's also a diagonal liquidity also residing around this level. So if price USD CAD temporarily buys back into this one, we will not be surprised, right? So going on M5, so just pretty much mark out some support and resistance levels to help us specifically in today's trading session. I'm going to be marking out yesterday's high and low, day before yesterday's high and low. Now, this level we marked out was from Tuesday's analysis, and you can see how price broke below the zone, came to the retest. It broke again, gave another retest, and then we saw the sell that happened from this point to this point, right? And if you had seen confirmations, which I believe must have happened, this sell is something we would have made money from. 20 something pips. Actually, not 20 something because it's still selling, which is why one of our students, Mr. Pete, don't lie, is still holding. So you can see that USD CAD is still selling without giving a deep retracement. This is our analysis and it's playing out. Okay, so Tuesday has passed by now. I'm interested in what today has to offer. So I'm going to mark out yesterday's high right here, yesterday's low. Yesterday's high marked out. day before yesterday's high. Just pay attention to what I'm marking out into today's price movement so that you don't get confused. So that has now been marked out. POI1, POI2. What is this from? Points of interest 3. Points of interest 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are the 5-minute POIs that we're currently looking at, and then these lines are from the 1-hour time frame. You can zoom back in now. These are the levels I'm watching out for. What am I now saying? I'm saying if this is a support level, it may hold. And if it holds, we should see buys into these other POIs that could serve as resistance. And if price is able to break through these levels, then we know that it may be heading for the liquidity that we saw on the H4 time frame. However, if this zone continues being broken down, we know that USD CAD sell is still in play, and we see more sales trading into H4 points of interest we marked out, which is 1.39496 if the sell is continued. But if it breaks above and starts to buy, we know that it will simply be a liquidity move. Is this clear, please? Do you understand what I just looked out for on USD CAD? While you type, let us now look at AUD USD on the H4 time frame as well. Look at that. So zoom out as well. So this guy has been pretty much majorly to the upside with minor structures breaking downward. We now see this happened. Sunshine printed. So we're now expecting. Oh, amazing. Amazing. The peeps don't lie. Okay, so AUD USD on the H4 time frame, sunshine printed here. So we're expecting temporal sales of AUD USD. Go to H1 now. And on H1 time frame, I'm going to, okay, quickly take this off because we're looking at today's price movement. All right, so sunshine printed, I'm expecting temporal sales of AUD USD before the buy is continued, and these are my points of interest. I have 3 POIs on this time frame: 0.65435, 65329, and 65238. And the zones I'm looking out for to see retracements. Look at that, there's also a fair value gap, which just happens to coincide with a resistance that cannot be a support. So these are multiple confluences around 65435. Now we'll go on M5 to mark out yesterday's high and lows to see what price does at those points of interest. Oh no. Yesterday's high, low, day before yesterday's high, day before yesterday's low. Almost in confluence, but these are now the points of interest we're watching out for to see retracement so we can continue to buy AUD USD. Please take note of these ones as well. And then finally, NZD USD on the H1 time frame. Take this off. Okay, this guy has been pushing to the downside. If this sell is going to continue, we're just targeting the next support level, which happens to be all the way down here, so there's still room. However, zooming in, you see that a new sunshine has been printed. So this sell, temporal sell, was expected before the buy move is continued. Go on H1 now. And on H1, what am I doing? Marking out more points of interest. Look at how this candlestick, what news is this? So these are now my levels of interest. I'm basically saying that sunshine was printed, so we expected this sell to pop, which it did. And after it sold, it traded into this momentum, which should have been a point of interest that I've marked out for sure, and it is starting to buy. Now that it is starting to buy, these are the next levels that would push it back down: 0.56894, and the second one being 0.57464. Do you understand? So looking at this now, I'll go on M5 to mark out more points of interest. On M5, Please don't lie. What news release just came out today? It's really funny for engage more. I believe most of us here are traders as well, and some are total newbies. Please don't lie, is a student of your academy. Okay, so yesterday's high marked out, day before yesterday's high also marked out. Yesterday's low has been marked out, so I'm going to now add day before yesterday's low as well. Now, price bots, this is the next resistance written in front for it, somewhere around 0.56680 is the next resistance point that we're looking for NZD USD. But if NZD USD is able to break through this resistance level, where is it headed for next? If it breaks through, it's coming to 0.56894. And if it happens to break through this zone as well, we're looking at 57464. However, if the resistance holds, again, just as we always do, if resistance holds, then we'll be seeing more sellers that will come to violate these different levels. Are we together? Is this clear so far? Please let me know. All right. Thank you. So this is now, today is 13th. We don't really even have much coming out today, do we? Okay. So there is employment change, which already came out on the AUD USD and unemployment rate as well. So actual greater than forecast is speaking currency. That means AUD USD has some strong strength currently in its economy. So if this is true, then we should see more buys of AUD USD. You can see the measurement, or rather the explanation of what the measures and its effects on the currency. What was forecasted to come out for AUD employment change was 20K. It came out at first 2.2K. Actual greater than is good for the currency. So we should be seeing more buyers going into AUD USD. And then for unemployment rates, less than actual, which is this, less than forecast, which is this, is good for currency. What was forecasted was 4.4%. What came out was 4.3%. So people who are unemployed are reduced, basically, which is also good for the currency. So we should be seeing more strength going to the Aussie, which we're already seeing on the charts as well. Already seen on the charts. Let me go back so you see that candlestick that we just spoke of. Strength at which it is moving. Look at that. AUD USD is buying it for this. So also pay attention to fundamentals because they play a big role. It's not just to look at the chart. Of course, technical analysis, indicator, right? They play a big role, but fundamentals also play a part in how these asset classes move. So apart from the AUD news that came out, the rest of the news releases we have are pretty much low impact. Well, you can focus on red folder. You see that even when I was looking at today's news release, I didn't even touch on PPI or MI inflation. What caught my attention as related to the asset classes we're looking at is the red folder. These are high impact news releases. So employment change and unemployment rate is what I focused on. There's also another one on the pound, but I didn't touch on pound because we did not analyze pound this morning. So for me, I focused mainly rather on high impact news release and sometimes on medium impact. But these barely shift, they don't create as much move in the market. So most times I focus on red. In fact, a lot of the times I focus on red alone. Okay, so that's pretty much it. For those of us who also want to, learn how to break down what these different fundamental news release means, go on platforms like Forex Live, and you see breakdowns of what these different news releases mean and what it could mean for the currency that you are trading. All right, without taking too much more time, thank you for joining this session. We're going to go on a very short break to reconvene and continue with analysis on indices. So don't go anywhere. I believe this was helpful to at least one person. If it was, let me know by leaving an emoji in the chat box. So please don't lie. We'll be seeing how your trade plays out. All right, thank you, sir, and thank you everyone else for joining YouTube and Zoom. For now, we're going to short break. Cheers and God bless.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to the second part of today's market color, where we look at the US market, US30, NAS100, and S&P500. See as those markets are going and how we can take advantage of them. Samuel, Toby, tips don't lie. Good morning. Let's move straight to the business of today. All right, let me share my screen, after which we can proceed. Okay, I believe you can see my screen now. All right, thank you so much. Okay, now let's start with US30 this morning. All right, we've seen US30 rally to the upside, broken structure again to the upside. It seems to me now I'll just be placing two type of trade entry: my normal day swinging, my day trading, and the rest, and then more likely placing trade on the daily time frame, right? Because this guy has been messing up. I expect it to reverse a bit at this zone, but then price just kept pushing. We saw a reaction from this other block, and then boom, price is beginning to push to the upside. Broken structure already. I've broken this structure on the daily time frame. And with the break of structure came this other block also, this new one. And above this other block is what? It's a fair value gap. Right, 50%. Let me mark out areas that are really significant. So I expect a form of retracement, at least a bit. But today is quite interesting because I read the fundamental before coming on board, and then I'm seeing some news that is in favor of this rally, which is the US government shutdown ending soon, right? If that is true, that will signal to investors that we're back in business, and then we'll begin to see that bullish move to the upside. So this is the downside of trading indices. You might not have areas of entry that are efficient for you to take trades from once you miss that first one that happened, right? So, but then, notwithstanding, I'll be looking at this market very effectively. I know there shall be a form of retracement very soon. And then probably I can even look out for sales this morning if there's a what's it called? A chance for that, but that would be me scalping this market, right? Because what we have now is fully for buys, right? For buys, you can see what we have. The price action are quite interesting. Price has broken through all of this drama we had since last week. We're expecting that price would come back into this zone last week, right? Into any of these zones for it to continue buying, but it didn't happen. Instead, what we saw was just a a boom to the upside. I wasn't on the chart, but then immediately I see this kind of price action, I would have, kind of set my pending order from here and then allow the market to move, because this was already an announcement that we are ready to fly to the upside. This move here, right? But then I would say I missed that. Although US30 has finally rallied to the upside, the rest they're yet to catch up. Right, that's US100 and S&P 500. They are yet to catch up in their own movement. I believe this news of today might trigger the push to the upside or even into tomorrow, being Friday. All right, so let me look at US100 for what we have. US100 is yet to, push, yet to see that new high created, right? We're here to see that new high created. And so therefore we have this fair value gap just below. This fair value gap just below a price could react from. That's far-fetched. I'm just drawing out all areas that looks really interesting for price to move from. All right. We have that, and then we have this. Price come all the way to this down part, to this other block. I really don't think so. But let me just draw out these areas that we have this morning. All right. While we are looking at this, immediate price action indicates that price has shift structure. Right. There's a structure shift already. It's happened. A strong candle closing above. Right. And then this becomes a low, and this becomes a low, and this new low didn't break below this, right? I put it on the 1 hour time frame so we can understand what I'm trying to say. We have a low here, this new low, this low here, the previous low, this one didn't break below it, so meaning it's still strong in terms of structure. And then followed by what? After we had this low, price attempted to push up, and then what happened? There's kind of a shift again, a lower time frame shift here, right? And we have like a complete other block here with a fair value gap that's been tested. This fair value gap, I don't know if it's the whole fair value gap that's been tested or 50%. Okay. Okay, we have this, which is aligning with the other block. Okay. All right. So I believe if price wants to buy today, this area will be a good place for us to see that rally happen, right? Immediately, not to miss out from anything the market is doing. By the time we go to 30-minute time frame, we'll now get some other areas, right? You can now further refine to the lower time frame this here, other block on 30 minutes, for it to push the upside, right? This is like a typical box strategy. Strip of this low, break to the upside. We're expecting price to return into this, and then it continues. All right. So this is typically what I am seeing this morning. And then our overall take profits, of course, this is the first one, 1, 2, and then the third one, which is over here, 3, right? You expect price, and if price should move the way I'm expecting it to go, we are looking at nothing less than 1:2. Only God knows. Coming. Sorry, my trading view is not responsive. Okay. My chart is not responsive. Let me reload it. All my markups have been deleted. All right. But we get the idea, right? That price would want to move from this zone. By the time we refine, there are other, but price has mitigated this, and then 30 minutes on US100, not US30. Okay. On US100, price moving from this, we should see something really significant to the upside. And, just below this, let me even cover this, and then so this 1:8. If it goes the way we're expecting, right? We expect like 1:8 from this market, and then we are good to go, right? Here being the first TP hit, and then second will be all areas above this, right? So this is what I have going on this morning. I'm looking out for on US100, not focusing on US30 because we've missed the move on that. And then let's go to S&P 500, almost the same thing with S&P 500. However, for S&P 500, something interesting, right? Look at this. For S&P 500, unlike US100, that's NASDAQ, that didn't sweep its last low. It only swept the first low. Look at this. US100 swept only one low, which is this one, which is the immediate one. So it's still valid for a box pattern, right? This, which is immediate, but then it didn't. It didn't for this. Right? It didn't for this. However, on US 500, that's S&P 500, you have a clear sweep, right? A clear sweep of that low, making this kind of a very valid strong low that we expect the market to respect, right? This. So I expect that once price comes into this fair value gap, it has been tested before, but not even 50%, right? Not up to 50%. So price could as well reverse from 50% of this or come into this entire area, right? Come into this entire area, this other block area here, right? This is a very strong other block. So we have two areas of interest, which is this. Let me mark out this zone. And then we expect price to reverse from this, right? And then, of course, where are we heading to? We know already, to the topmost part, external liquidity, that we expect price to take out. That if price is ready to reverse today, we should see this play out really, really well, right? Should see this play out really, really well. And then it's like 1:5-ish. But then by the time we refine well, anything can happen. Price can reverse from this or even inside this other block, although it looks as though it has not been tested before, right? This and this, yes, you have two areas of interest. So this can happen, and then the other one can happen too. So having this kind of area of interest is just a matter of which one would you want to, if you're trying to be very, very conservative with your risks, then you want to take your trade from here. But if you're trying to look for the, catch as much RR as possible, then probably just want to stay here and then provincial price digs into this other block, you can still be in the trade and again get up to 9.8 RR. So this is what I have going on for today. Hopefully we'll see what the market does before New York session. That's 1 o'clock-ish into 2. All right. Thank you so much for joining this morning. It's a good place to ask a question if we have any question. Okay, boss, honestly, your SL look like liquidity to me because of the wick and the other block below the wick to the left. Okay, let me see that. Let me put that 1 hour time frame. Okay. You mean this entire area, right? The price could react from this and then use this as external liquidity, as what's it called, internal liquidity. Is that what you're saying? Exactly. I saw that, but then the crazy thing about US30 these days is that you'll be waiting for price to come into this, and before you say Jack Robinson, everything has reversed and start going up, right? So it's a crazy thing. I saw it too, but I'm like, would price want to come all the way down into this? But then it's very valid. I'll keep this in mind. And then we'll see how. Okay, that's my A plus setup on up here. Interesting, right? Because okay, I get it. So I'll be looking at this combined, meaning say price stops me out from this guy, And then I would want to now take trades from this. Because ultimately, I believe we are bullish today. We are bullish. We should see everything, push the upside. It's still a good trade. I mean, let me see how it goes from this zone. Let me see if there's any stuff interesting inside here on lower time frame. Okay, okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So we can see this happen. But one of the reason I'm quite okay. Yeah, we could see this happen. I'm coming. Let me turn this into a line and then 2 red. One of the reason I'm a bit concerned about this particular one, not the 100 US100 only, is because of this sweep that happened. This sweep that happened, or we could still target as what's it called? Liquidity zone, right? Like equal lows. So we could still target as equal loads and then expect price to tap into it for it to take out external liquidity. So beautiful. This is what we have today. Thank you so much for that wonderful insight, because I mean, this is the reason for this kind of sessions where we can brainstorm and then look at the markets together. All right, so we have two POI today. We're looking at it, and preferably we expect the second one to send price to the upside if the first one fails, right? And if the first one holds very well, then we are good to go. We're still making money. All right, thank you guys. We'll be meeting again by 2 just to see how this analysis play out, and then to see if there's any place we could have made some adjustments. This market can be very crazy. It can just reverse again. That's the funny and the annoying thing with it, right? But then hopefully price gets to our area that we've marked out, and then we'll make some money off this analysis. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let me look at the chat again. Admin, people don't lie. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Toby. Thank you for coming. We'll see you again by 2. Cheers and God bless everyone. Ensure you use proper risk management. I wish you all profitable trading. See you by 2 in the afternoon. Thank you.